Well, hello everybody, Peter Devaney here from Creative Leap, and I want to take this short presentation to show you a little bit of how re-enrolment now works in Learn by Heart. So we've just released some changes. I'm going to talk through first of all some of the issues that you've had and then describe the solutions that we've put in place for them. I'm then going to take you through an award. You can see the road stretching out into the distance, but I'm going to take you through the steps an organisation goes through in an award and how those steps are now changed to whatever extent they have. And we'll go in and have a look at some of the screens to see what the differences are on the screens there. So, first of all, let's take a look at some of the issues you've had. With the Learn by Heart now being a number of years old, we have organisations that have completed awards, and in some cases those awards have expired. At the moment, the award remains on their journey indefinitely, so they can revisit the site any number of months or years later and still get into the award with all the material there. We have sort of re-enrolled organisations that wish to undertake awards again. We've re-enrolled them manually, but we had the problem that their old material and their results remain in view, which is not what we want. We want them to have a clean sweep. And it's also been hard to enrol organisations in higher awards, so to go from, for instance, Rito to Famo. So what do we want? What we want and what these changes implement is the ability to re-enroll organisations in a clean new version of an award that they've already undertaken. We want them to be able to easily re-enroll in other awards, so from Rito to Fano. We want, as I say, clean versions, but we don't want them to lose access to the old material if they want to refer to it. Okay. So, what I'm going to do now is just walk through the steps an organisation goes through and explain some of the differences before we look at the screens themselves, some of the differences that in the way that these things are handled. So first up, let's take an example of an organisation that signs up on the 1st of January 2017 to Rito. No changes there, so the process they go through will be exactly the same. And what, as nutrition advisors, we see on our screen is pretty much the same as well. So I've picked an organisation off the HPC homepage, and we see that they've signed up for Rito, but they haven't really done very much yet. Moving forward, they will submit evidence and be graded on that evidence, but the next key milestone is when they complete the award. And let's imagine that they've done that 18 months later, so on the 1st of January 2018. And a couple of things happen. First of all, an award expiry date is set 2 years after the completion date. So the award expiry date in our example here would be the 30th of June 2020. Now, what is new here is that something called the re-enrolment date is set, and that is set to be 1 year after completion. And in this case, that would make the re-enrolment date the 30th of June 2019. Now, the re-enrolment date for a particular organisation on an award is the date on which they are allowed to re-enroll in the same award again, and also the date when the award is removed from their journey, as we will see shortly. And as nutrition advisors, if we look at our HPC homepage for organisations that have just completed, no big differences there. We see the award, we see that they've completed it. The date here, in my example, would be, as I mentioned, the 30th of June 2020. I've had to work with the data I've got on the system at the moment, so if you can imagine my date in there instead, but an award date nevertheless there. So no differences so far on there, but we have got this new date that that's going to help us. Now, a year later, on the 30th of June 2019, we hit this re-enrolment date. And a couple of things happen here. First of all, the award is removed from the journey. The My Journey button disappears, as we'll see when we look at the screen. The second thing that happens is organisations can sign up again to the award. So we'll see a sign up button appear on the award. And we will find that when we sign up that they have a clean new award. They have none of the information that they had in the old one. And just a note for ECEs, they won't need to take the quiz again. Now at the enrolment date, we do see a change on the HPC homepage, and in my example here you can see that that award there has gone a light shade of red or pink, and this indicates that this organisation has now passed its re-enrolment date and can re-enroll in that program. So that's our visual, as nutrition advisors, that is our visual cue to see organisations that have passed the re-enrolment date. Okay, so what happens when they try and re-enroll in the same award? So let's pick our organisation. This organisation was on Paharakeke. They have passed the re-enrolment date, so they are in light pink on the HPC homepage. Let's see what the new world looks like for them. So, first of all, we have their screen. Now what it looks like is, just bear with me for a moment. So we see the screen looks very similar to as if they had just registered. So we have a begin our journey button here. You can't tell that they've done the award before. The first question they might ask themselves is how, before we re-enroll, how do we get access to the material in the old award? And if we look at the top of the screen, we have a menu option called Journeys, and if we click on that, we can see all of the awards that they have undertaken or are undertaking. And if they click through, they can get access to all the old material, all of their submissions, and so on. So if we go back to the home screen, the next thing we'll notice is if they go into the Paharakeke page, the award that they've already done, we will see that they get a sign up button. And what we will do is sign up afresh to that program, and it takes us through to the award, and we notice a couple of things. If you can just excuse the graphics on the staging system, a couple of things. You'll see in the top left corner there is just a little course name there, and that's a message to you and to them to show which version of the award you're in. So we've just re-enrolled in the 2017 version. We'll see how that appears on the home page in just a moment. Now the other difference as we move down is, again, excuse graphics, we will find that in the evidence submissions they have a completely clean screen there. They can resubmit afresh there. So as now that they've re-enrolled or re-signed up, they've got the button there. If we look at their journeys, we'll see that we've got both the old and the new there, and they can access all of the material. Okay, so that's what the organisation sees. What about the HPC? Well, if we visit the HPC homepage, the screen's a little bit jumpy. If we go down a bit, we will see, oh, hang on a second. So we'll see our organisation has got two entries. We've got the older enrolment or old sign up in light pink, and we've got the new one in, oops, screen going again, with the 2017 against it. So we've actually enrolled them in a completely fresh course. And in subsequent, in due course, we'll have 2018, 2019 and so on. So that's really the differences that you will see on the HPC homepage. So we've seen how it looks for the organisations, we've seen how it looks for you as nutrition advisors, and those are the main changes. The next point of the journey is award expiry. There's no change there, so I mentioned this just for completeness really, but as at the moment there's no significance to this. This obviously will happen in my example in June 2020. Now the next question we were asking was, what about signing up to different awards? That's very straightforward. It used to be the case that you could only sign up to one of the big awards, the Rito, the Whānau, Paharakeke, Toitoi Manawa or Excellence. You could only sign up to one of them at once. This has changed now, and you will now find that an organisation that, for instance, is on Rito can sign up on Whānau or Paharakeke. An organisation on Toitoi Manawa can sign up on Excellence as well. So you will see sign up buttons against all of the courses regardless of the existing state of the enrolment. Now you do need to be a little bit careful of this, because organisations can do this at any time. So there's no need, the re-enrolment date is irrelevant to this. They can enrol on Rito and then the following day they can sign up on Paharakeke. So we have opened the permissions up a little bit there. We just need to take a few precautions to make sure that they don't do that. So those are the two key changes. First of all, the ability to re-enroll in the same award. We've seen how the enrolment date drives the ability to do that, and secondly the ability to enrol in different awards, to move up the award scale, if you like. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take them. Probably best you refer them through Tracy Walker, and enjoy using Learn by Heart, and I hope this new functionality helps you out.